Hi, I'm Katie Halcrow with Power Up Prep, and I'm super excited today to take you through some tips and strategies to help you power up your ACT. If this is your first time with us, first, welcome. Second, check out the link below. There, you're going to find the ACT questions and the note sheets that you can do along with these videos. All right, so let's get those materials together, and we're going to be ready to power up. Okay, so we're back. We just talked about taxonomic rank, gametes and alleles, and percent error. So now we're going into metric units. So there are two types of metric units you need to know. One is Celsius, like degrees Fahrenheit, and then the other are the metric units for length, volume, and mass. So let's go into Celsius, boiling temperature and freezing temperature. So what do you think the boiling temperature for Celsius is? Yep, okay, it's 100 degrees Celsius, perfect. And then what do you think about freezing temperature? 0 degrees Celsius, perfect. Okay, so the only other thing that you need to know about Celsius for boiling temperature and freezing temperature is that when it boils, it becomes a gas, and when it freezes, it becomes a solid. So anything that's at its boiling point is going to be a gas, and anything that's at its freezing point is going to be a solid. And then the last thing that I want to interject here, just to make sure that you have it, are the way to convert between Fahrenheit and Celsius. So if you take your Fahrenheit temperature, this is the equation that you're going to use. So Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times C, so F equals 9/5 times C plus 32. Minus 32. No, plus 32. So F equals 9 divided by 5 C plus 32. And so if you have the Fahrenheit temperature, you put it in for F. If you have the Celsius temperature, you put it in for C, and then you solve for the other variable. And that way you can convert back and forth. I haven't seen a question that does this yet, but I think it could. Okay. And then the last topic that we're going to talk about are metric unit conversions. So people always struggle with this because we're just really not very good at the metric system here in the United States. But it's easy once you get the hang of it because it's all the same. So if you have 1 kilogram, how many grams is that? It's 1,000. So there's 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. Which means that there are 1,000 liters in 1 kiloliter, and there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So they all follow the same pattern, right? So if there's 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, then that means there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Okay, so now let's talk about millimeters and meters. How many millimeters are there in 1 meter? There's also 1,000. So there's 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter, which means that there's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, and there's 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. Those are the big ones that you need to know. Those are the ones that they test. There's usually 1 metric units question on every test. So it's just really good to know these. The only one that I'm going to give you in addition to those conversions right there are centimeters. So there are 10 millimeters in every centimeter, and there are 100 centimeters in every meter. So that's just another one that I've seen pop up. So that's why I'm telling you about it. So there's 10 millimeters in every 1 centimeter, and there's 100 centimeters in every 1 meter. So I've never seen like a deci or a deca or anything like that. I've just seen the centimeter and then the millimeter, the regular meter, and then the kilometer. And the same thing with the liters. Okay, then the very last topic that I wanted to talk with you about is how you should use your units to help you. If you have a question on a test and it has like, let's say it was grams per centimeter to the third was the unit on there. For the answer choice, for one of the answer choices, then one of the answer choices said like centimeters to the third divided by grams. What you want to do is look at your question, and the question will probably give you a clue to what you need. So if the question says we find density by doing mass divided by volume, then you know in your answer choices, you have to have grams on top and centimeters to the third on the bottom, because that's taking a mass and then dividing by a volume. So there are other tricks like this that you can use, just using some math concepts about units and conversion that will help you. But just keep in mind, you can use the units on the test to help you find where data might be located, but also how to use the data, like how to multiply or divide the data to find the answer that you need. All right, we did it. We got Celsius temperatures, metric unit conversions, and how to use our units to help us. So we are all done with outside knowledge, and we are all done with the science section. Great work. Only one section to go. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them below. We love to hear from you. Also, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any of our curriculum or other tips and tricks that can help you power up your ACT.